Mondays through Fridays, 3:30 to 4:30 p.m. in the newsroom. You can't afford to miss it.
Yes, it's a program that we cannot afford to miss. And in the interest of good governance in Nigeria, we must, as a matter of fact, watch and see how it is done in the newsroom. This is a program where we talk dispassionately about some topics that have to do with Nigeria as a country that belongs to us all, a country that we must all salvage together, a country that we must see to it that things are done the very right way. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the program in the newsroom. Babatunde Bolatito is my name. I have a full house today, and this is about the first time in the recent time that the house will be full.
It was like that last week.
Yeah, and I want it to continue this way. Muideen Adeleke is here. You're welcome to the newsroom.
Thank you for having me. I say good afternoon to our viewers, esteemed viewers.
Esteemed viewers.
Yes, we are glad to be back in the newsroom. I always say it that it's the best place to be. As a newsman,
Yeah.
it's the best place. It's our own parliament.
Yes.
And we have immunity.
And it's our own officers' mess.
We enjoy some measure of immunity. And I expect my colleagues in the house to throw servos from left to right and center.
You're welcome to the program.
To God be the glory. We are back into the journalist parliament, where we express our views and opinions dispassionately.
And then I want to add Mr. Dele Ajayi. Mr. Dele Ajayi is also here.
You're getting official.
Yes, I decided to be official with him.
I think because it came a little bit late.
So Mr. Dele Ajayi,
So that
he knows the meaning of Mr. Dele Ajayi, you are welcome. Thank you for having me. Yes, the first topic. Buhari won't withdraw Reps nomination, FG. It is alleged in some quarters that names of Reps submitted by President Muhammadu Buhari are those of people who are sympathetic to the ruling party. It was alleged and given very wide publicity, to the extent that the president himself may have heard about this. But be that as it may, the reaction we have is that he will not withdraw the nomination of the Reps. And that is quoting the federal government. I want to start from Muideen. If people are pointing fingers, accusing one for that matter, to a nomination made by the president about appointment into the office of resident electoral commissioners in the states, that they are sympathetic to the ruling party in the country. And the federal government is coming out to say that, no, we are not, the president will not withdraw the nomination. What do you think the presidency is driving at?
Once again, I'd like to thank the viewers that we always enjoy your support from time to time. OSBC TV channel 113 on Star Times 52 on Free TV. Let me just say that it is within the purview of members of the public to come up with allegations, if they have any, against anybody so nominated by the government in power from time to time, because they have the right under the law to say that so and so persons so nominated do not merit the nominations. But one thing I have discovered over time is that in this part of the world, we engage much more in media trial in most cases. And at the end of the day, we will have passed the judgment and probably convicted those we see as not meriting one position or the other. I am not here to defend the government of the day, neither am I here to crucify the government. But we must always give the government that benefit of doubt. That is very essential. We have the National Assembly there that is empowered to scrutinize and screen those so nominated. I want to believe that we should give them that benefit of doubt. If at the end of the day those people are cleared against some allegations, because people who can always allege that because for instance, I want to bring an instance into the fore now. When you talk of a game of football being decided on the pitch, you see a player fouling another player. He is committing foul against the opposing player, and the referee cautioned the erring player either by words of mouth or by a yellow card, which is a warning card. But you discovered from the stand, spectators soon discovered that the erring player went prostrating for the referee. But the next thing that the spectators saw was a red card being given to the erring player. So definitely that will elicit the reactions from spectators. This referee is wicked. How could somebody be cautioned for a foul committed and that player was remorseful? Even in Nigerian palace, you can afford to do what? Can afford to prostrate. It is within the culture, our culture here. So how could the referee now, instead of probably allowing the player to go scot-free, now bring out a red card and flash it to the player or at the player? So the problem is that what happened on the pitch, the spectators could not see. They could not see.
It was only the referee.
It was the referee. But you discover what really happened was that as the player was prostrating after he had been issued with a yellow card, he was abusing the referee. That was the language. Epileptics. That was the language. So what I'm saying in essence is that by and large, it is within the fundamental rights of Nigerians, members of the public, when they have some issues to raise, some just to raise in respect of one nominee or the other. More so that the position we are talking about, the commissioners of INEC, Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC. So definitely members of the public have the right to complain and raise allegations against. But what thing we should do as a nation is to forward such to the National Assembly if we have any evidence. That's my own take on that.
Yes, Adeboye Popola,
Yes.
the fact that the federal government is saying the federal government won't withdraw the Rex nomination, don't you see it as being, is it authoritarian, or how will you place it?
You see, when the federal government is seen to have erred in the way a certain constitutional duty is performed, you see, and the federal government is insisting that the action will not be reversed, it is even far from being autocratic, it is quite imperialistic. And I'm very sure that Nigerians will not take it light with the president. Now, as far as this issue is concerned, this issue of nomination made by the president, now we first of all ask how genuine is the allegation by the Nigerian populace? Is it a mere allegation? Is it a mere side talk or pedestrian talk? When you go into the profile of these people that president, nominated, you will see that Nigerians are not raising just fanciful or whatever allegation. The allegations go down to the roots of the nomination itself. That the nomination itself is unlawful. Now, Sokoto, the person nominated from Sokoto, who is that person? You see, critical analysis of the person's, shows that he was once governorship aspirant in 2015 under the platform of APC. Now the question is that person qualified to be nominated for that sacred position of INEC as a commissioner? Now, another one is Enugu. The person being nominated there is a younger sister of APC Deputy National Chairman, Emeka Enueku. Now, is he also competent? Now, Ebonyi, Mrs. Queen Agu was suspended in 2016 over allegation of incompetence and corruption. Now, when
INEC staff?
INEC staff, yes, she was INEC staff. You see, suspended on the basis of what? Incompetence, on the ground of incompetence and the corruption. Now, when you are now saying that we should allow the parliament to do their job, it's like the president taking the unwholesome, bringing the unwholesome to who? I mean, to the parliament, where it is in the public domain that all these people, you see, there is prima facie allegation or cases of incompetence or evidence of incompetence against these people. You see, what are we now saying? Now, the first question is, has the president done the needful before the nominations were carried out? Definitely, it means that the president just considered didn't even take enough time or reasonable, didn't perform that action. I mean, that a constitutional duty reasonably. Reasonableness, demands that the president himself conduct investigation into the personalities that he as a president will present to the parliament. It is even touching. It is touching on the credibility of the president.
Thank you very much. Yes, maybe the president just took a cursory look at the list before signing, and now Nigerians are reacting. What is your own reaction to with what Adeboye Popola has come out with? A list and the antecedents of at least 3 of them. If we go on with the list, we will find more.
Okay, last week we were here discussing the alarm raised by former President Goodluck Jonathan about the dictatorial tendency of the present administration. He even said, we are racing to face this. Now, if you are to serve the people, if the people had elected you in an election, and you now occupy the corridor of power as a result of the wish or wishes of the majority, then you shouldn't be arrogant. When that people, the people that elected you, when they speak, we call it public opinion in government, elementary government. You listen. But to now come out arrogantly to say we will withdraw. Last week, Femi Adesina, the special advisor to the president on media and publicity, said something. He said those criticizing Buhari or those Buhari's opponents are either deaf, blind, dumb, an official of government. At the presidency, and the combination of all these people is what we call presidency, insulting the sensibility of Nigerians. Now, I don't know I read out the names of the reps under whose credibility, whose appointment are under huge question mark.
Yes.
But this will be the first one. Yes. Why did this some time ago? A woman from the east, I think from Delta, was nominated.
Yeah.
It took the vigilance of Nigerians and the insistence of Nigerians to force the National Assembly to reject that woman. Now, the National Assembly may not have that temerity, the audacity, the courage, the bravery all the time to go against the president. Let me tell you, what we operate in Nigeria is totalitarianism, not democracy. Because the president will always call the shot. The president, Mr. Lai Mohammed's statement is wrapped in arrogance, in impunity. And he has to be called to order. He has to be called to order. You don't just ignore people. You don't just neglect people's opinion.
Yeah, we go to the next topic.
Before we go, let me just say this. I respect the opinions expressed by my co-participants on this program. And normally there are always two sides to a coin. But one thing I have discovered is that even the sources where we read about the report on the refusal of the government to probably strike off their names from the list, did say that they have not been able to confirm independently whether those allegations leveled against people are. So as journalists, it is our duty to dig deep, find out, and come up with facts. We cannot rely most of the times on allegations. Well, it is incumbent on whoever is alleging to prove. So what I always say is that if these people are investigated and they are found to be,
I don't excuse me. I don't
listen. Let me laugh.
If somebody is appointed as a journalist, or how many years standing? You, sir, my boss, you are a journalist in Osun for at least 25 years. Let's say 25.
It's even more than
25
years.
So if anybody is appointed today as REC member or as commissioner with the Independence National Electoral Commission, you should know that person If I am appointed today,
will it take journalists the same thing?
No,
if anybody is appointed,
we are not arguing here. We should not turn ourselves into.
No, we have to argue. That is the business. We have to argue.
We are not arguing. We are supposed. Excuse me, Abela Ajayi. We are supposed to present our views. We are not bound to approach issues from the same perspectives. Mine is to say the way I feel and I see it. I might be wrong.
By the time
excuse me. I might be wrong. Nobody is infallible. I say there are always two sides to a coin.
Yeah.
What I'm only advocating, you see, all along I've been saying it that Nigerians have the right to protest. It had happened to somebody, a nominee from Osun, our own dear state from here. Somebody was nominated to REC, and there was a protest, and that person was dropped.
You see, that is what we are saying.
So, if the government, excuse me,
when the protest is not based on the government,
that person was.
Are you getting what I'm saying?
That person got to. Excuse me. The person got to the National Assembly before he was dropped. That's what I'm saying. I'm saying we should we shouldn't take over the functions, the duties of National Assembly. You see, in every government, there are checks and balances.
Oh, yes.
So we shouldn't constitute ourselves as the judges.
Jonathan appointed several, including the NX chairman. He appointed Jega. He appointed Yakub Mahmoud. Now, how many times can you recall, just once, that Jonathan will nominate a REC or member of
and it will subject
and
to
people will not react?
Yes, there were instances there. Even Yakubu Mahmoud, there were protests against him.
Yes, and based on what?
And he stood. The appointment stood. So don't let us argue here. We should check, cross-check.
Excuse me, on what basis?
Fact checks that there.
Excuse me, on what basis?
Let's go to.
So don't let us be judgmental. Let the National Assembly do its work.
Yes,
it is not always the time that people will fold their hands and allow.
I said somebody was nominated from opposition here.
The
person got to the National Assembly,
when they see
and the National Assembly did not approve of it.
A person with criminal allegations.
Okay, let's go.
You could be alleged.
You could be alleged.
As a person could be alleged. But it is not for people who are
now let's go to the next topic.
To crucify you.
When we have documents,
Magu's name last week.
Yes.
Protest against Magu.
Yes.
A letter was
from the DSS.
From the DSS sent to the National Assembly. The National Assembly couldn't do anything against
it. Well, let's go to the next topic.
If we are to submit everything to the National Assembly, even when it is within the public domain, it means that Nigerians are fools.
We can always disagree because there are always two sides to the
coin. Because of our time, bandits negotiator took on Mamo. Now over 2 billion ransom racketeering. This is a man who is known for as a negotiator between
the bandits
and the captives and their captives. Now there's an allegation of 2 billion naira ransom racketeering. The man has been arrested somewhere
in Egypt.
In Egypt, somewhere outside Nigeria, Egypt to be precise. And today he's in the news. Let me start from today, Ajayi. When you heard about Mamu's arrest, how did you feel?
Sad, bad, that we always take things for granted. Yes, we can give it to the DSS that they might have been doing their job secretly for a very long time. But any deciding Nigeria, any thinking being will know that that negotiator is not negotiating for free. Emeka Ojukwu wrote a book because I am involved. He has always been involved. And the questions, Nigerians have been asking questions before now. Somebody is negotiating. And these people are killing. These people are collecting money. Yeah. And somebody has come out publicly to say I'm negotiating with them or on their behalf. And you always let that person go. And he will talk, you will listen. You have not arrested him, lead also where they are. Gumi also said he visited them in the forest. He visited the bandits in the forest. And these bandits are killing, are maiming, destroying, and making life difficult for people. Now, we Nigerians have always been, I've always known that this Mamu is somebody who should be investigated. We all along, at the beginning of this scenario, we all knew that there should be a sensible or an iota of conspiracy between the negotiator and the bandits. It's like he knows better. It's like a player, Ronaldo or Messi or Mbappe. He has an agent. You deal with the agent. You leave him. You leave the player to concentrate on the business. When the agent goes about negotiating, doing business with suitors or those who want to buy, that is the case. So it's good that he has been arrested at last, but it's not overdue. We had all before now. We had earlier known that this man has something in his cupboard.
Yes, there could be many mammals in the country today. Many of them. But we have known only Mamu and Gumi. Those are the people who have come to the fore. But there could be more than that. If you happen to see those in power today about this Mamu's case, along with the insurgency, how will you advise them?
Advise the government?
Yes.
You see, it is even go beyond the ordinary advice. Does this case need giving somebody advice? You see, look, let me start from here. This Tuko Mamu, was arrested in Egypt by the security operatives there. He was on his way to Lesser Arch when he was intercepted in Egypt. Now, this Mamu, security agents in Egypt had been waiting for him before his arrival, because already he has been fingered as having a connection with some terror groups in Sinai. Now, when you take cognizance of the personality, is a profile as far as criminal terrorism is concerned, one will say that yes, this Tuko is connected with Boko Haram or whosoever, or bandits or any terror group. Because before the security operatives in Egypt could strike, the way they struck, they would have investigated him, but it was difficult for them to come to Nigeria to arrest him. Meaning that Nigerian DSS, one will not say that they are not doing their job professionally. Maybe it is as a result of being curious or being being curious as far as a procedure for arrest and so on and so is concerned, that has been inhibiting them from cashing on this man. But as it is now, to your question, if I'm in a position to see the president now, I will say, okay, this is some of these things that we have been saying. It would have been very difficult for an ordinary person to negotiate with criminal groups.
If he's not involved.
If that person is not involved. We have said it over and over and over again on this program. Gumi and this Mamu. If I'm not your comrade, if I'm not, within your camp, in the first instance, I should not even know the language of to negotiate.
Yeah.
But because this man is part of the deal, because this man, I'm not crucifying him before the trial, but you see, we are in this world for quite a long time. There is a particular Yoruba adage. You see, if there is no hanky-panky, if there is no insider to open the door for a visitor, the visitor will not just enter without key to open the door. And that is what we are saying here. And that, and that was the conduct of Gumi and Tuko. That is what their conduct is leading us to.
Yes, I'm with him. You see, the Egyptian security has done much to be able to get Mamu arrested, which perhaps our own security did not do. Now Mamu is there. He committed the offense in Nigeria. The offense he committed is against Nigeria. He is arrested in Egypt. His trial should be in Nigeria. How do you think the trial in Nigeria will be free and fair?
Yeah, thank you. In the first instance, I described the whole scenario as despicable. The idea of having to negotiate with bandits, with terrorists, in a sovereign nation like ours. Nigeria is a sovereign nation where we have government. So it is unfortunate that we have found ourselves in this particular situation. It is quite despicable and it's nothing to write home about. I don't foresee a situation like this playing out in Asina Klein. So be that as it may, I want to say that we should give kudos to the Nigerian security operatives too, because it was based on the kind of Interpol. There's only this interrelationship between or among international security agencies all over the world. That is the best standard practice. And it was because of the request. So we should not always condemn our security operatives here in Nigeria, because even though some Nigerian factors could play out in some cases, but we've discovered that Nigerian police, among other security operatives, have always gone on these international duties and performed creditably to the extent of even winning awards and what have you. So the arrest of Mamu followed a request by Nigerian military, law enforcement and intelligence community to their foreign partners to bring back Mamu to the country to answer critical questions on ongoing investigations relating to some security matters in parts of the country, including the train attack. The man is being accused of probably negotiating. He's even it's even awkward negotiating with who? Negotiating with bandits? Is that? It's nauseating to hear. It will never happen in places like US and UK, among others, for people to negotiate with the criminals. So when we talk of people being involved in questionable activities, this man, I don't know how he's going to. I'm not going to put him on trial in the tube. But what I'm saying in essence is that it is quite unfortunate that Nigeria has descended to that abyss. Yes, that abyss of what would I say? Darkness. It's darkness.
Dark age.
Yes, it's dark age for us. To we can't anyway, Abuja to Kaduna now.
Yes.
It's no longer safe. People cannot. In fact, I was in Abuja recently and I interacted with people. They said people whose means of livelihood, I mean, are on that road. They still risk their lives because they cannot afford to die
Of hunger.
of hunger. So what we are saying in essence is that the federal government has to do something. Even if the government is claiming to have achieved certain
To have defeated insurgency technically.
No, what I'm saying that is
Technically.
I'm not saying that. If government is claiming to have achieved on some fronts, on this front or that front, if security of life and property is at stake, definitely it will rub off negatively on whatever achievements the government might want to lay claim on. So this man, in fact, we even learned, there was a report that some of families of those who are still being held in captivity are now saying government shouldn't have arrested the man. But government got the wind of the fact that 2 billion that there was a particular a kind of arrangement, kind of negotiation that the remaining 23 persons that are still in the captivity of bandits should be released on certain amount. But this man is being alleged to have said that amount was too small. So there are so many allegations leveled against this man, and he's a publisher. He's this larger than life style of life is living is being investigated. So let the man be investigated. If he's found culpable, he should face the music. If he's found to be probably innocent, so the law should take its course.
Yes, we go to the last topic of the day, and that is oil theft, Pengasam protest in Abuja. Pengasam came out to say its members are losing their jobs consequent upon the activities of oil thieves, which are taking food away from the table of their members. And,
no, it's not. That's not totally taking food.
They gradually taking it. If they are allowed to continue,
Ajayi, they feel threatened that if things are allowed to go this way,
if they allow things to go that way, when will it not happen?
yes.
So that is why they are protesting, and their protest is good.
We are going to join them.
Good in the sense that
No, at this point in time, we want to ask you: are you ready to join us? People, we
are
on this side of the.
we are in it together. Yes, Dele Ajayi. Let's take a look at oil theft. It has done a lot of damages to the economy of this country. Oil thieves are not limited to bunkers. There are also people who uses the pen. There are oil thieves who uses the pen. There are actual oil thieves who are there in the creeks. Yes, and there are oil thieves who will manipulate the pump to reflect a different price other than the one officially announced by the government. So we have a category, we have different categories of oil thieves. What damages have these people done to the economy of this country?
Enormous damage, unquantifiable damage. But let's limit ourselves to those who maybe probably damage or destroy oil pipes.
All pipes, yes.
Those who engage in illegal refinery. Those who do illicit things in the creeks. Don't let us bother ourselves about those who use viral to steal. They will always do that. It won't stop. It didn't start yesterday. It didn't start with Buhari. It won't end with Buhari. But when things like this come out, I tend to ask that question. Do we really have government? The whole essence of government is to manage. The whole essence of a referee being on the pitch of football pitch is to check the excesses of players.
Yeah.
A player will want to score an offside goal and probably will score an offside goal and start jubilating. It is the referee that will call him to order. No, that goal won't count.
You are infiltrating into my specialty.
So that goal will not count.
Yeah.
I will
The
hire this
Nigerians
man.
understand what he's saying.
The government,
If you don't manage
we are
very well.
almost everyone. At least 70% of citizens of a particular country are criminally minded. If there are no laws, you see what would have happened. If there are no checks, anybody can say, I want to commit crime if there's no tendency for him to be caught and punished. So if there's no that mechanism, the society will have been like an animal kingdom. So where is our government in this? One, you have the security. There is this technology. Why can't we deploy government apparatus, state apparatus to monitor our source of income? Helicopters. I want to believe this cannot happen in America. They would have deployed technology, deployed so many other things to guide jealously their source of income. Because it will only take not only from the tables of Pengassan, from your table, from my table. Because if there's no money for government to spend, the government will run bankruptcy. There will be no government. It is when they have money to spend, and where do we get that money from? From the oil. And look at that humongous amount of money government is releasing day by day, going to oil theft. So government, it borders on the capability of government to secure its source of income.
Adeboye Popola, Dele Ajayi has opened the ground, saying that Nigeria government should be able to handle very securely its source of income. And if you look at it, that is the main source of income of Nigeria. But be that as it may, Pengassan is protesting. Very soon, we don't know. But let me ask this. Don't you see this going the way of NSAS?
Well, one cannot say that one cannot be easily, it cannot be easily predicted the extent to which this could go. But let me say this: why did the government, wait till the time Pengassan is participating before it could, do the needful? The reason is not far-fetched. The other time he was talking of deploying technology, deploying security, deploying everything. The government those in government, they know that if they deploy technology, if they deploy everything, they too, some of them will be affected. Because there is this adage that is or leg me. If everybody in Nigeria should be scrutinized, if the source of wealth of many Nigerians should be probed, it will be what you will see, will baffle you. It's like saying that, we will just have a full day break. Like when we have, day break at 1 a.m., where you will see many people will surprise you. If the sun could come up, if we could have an overhead sun at 1 a.m.
I hope you are not making reference to Salisu Buhari when the light was switched on unexpectedly.
You see,
then
where you will see some people will baffle you. And that is what we are saying. Majority of these people who indulge in theft and some other criminal activities are stooges of government in power. Where do they get money for their campaigns? Where do you think they get money? It is these people, these criminal people, that sponsor many of them. And that is the reason law could not be effectively enforced
in this country.
Law will, and it will remain like that until we have people who are ready to serve the country, who are ready to serve the nation. The people on ground, many a times, till now, are those people who are interested in
milking the country,
in their private coffers, being sworn in with this is money.
You see, oil theft. Somebody say, let Nigerians kill oil theft before oil theft kills Nigeria. Do you agree with this?
Yes, it is like we are talking about corruption. Somebody will always say, if you don't kill corruption, corruption will kill or will fight back. Corruption has always fought back. And in this particular scenario, we can say, without missing words, that unequivocally that this thing is just not happening now. It's been on for a very long time. In fact, as far back as 70s, there had been bunkering. Some people will call it illegal bunkering. I don't know whether bunkering is illegal. I don't know whether bunkering is legal. Okay. Can you imagine? We are supposed to be producing.
Double negative becomes a positive in language.
Nigeria is supposed to be producing 1.8 million barrels per day, but as of today, we are struggling to produce 1 million barrels per day. So, in essence, about 30.3 million liters or cubic liters are being stolen on a daily basis. So you can imagine how much we are losing. 1.73 trillion naira is being lost every month. So I don't know how that could be sustainable. The problem has to do with the fact that those that are involved are very highly placed.
Highly placed people.
Yes, they have the war chest. They have what it takes to fight the government of the day. It has always been difficult. It has always been difficult fighting those who steal our common patrimony. It has always been difficult. You can imagine the Penkasan is saying, they say oil is being loaded in the vessels, but they are not seeing any vessel. So oil, you cannot, are you equating oil with invisible? That is the problem. It is, and now I think the government is only waking up now, and even Pengasan is just coming up now, because they cannot also be, members of Pengasan cannot be immune. Yes.
They cannot be left out of this.
Exactly. Many of them could be found to be culpable. They could be culpable in the process. You see, multinationals are leaving Nigeria. Shell, Mobil, they are already relocating. Many of them are divesting. Because of what? Because they cannot sustain, because about 95% of the oil that is being pumped through the pipeline, 95% is being stolen. So if you are pumping about 100 million cubic liters, that means about 95 million will go down the drain. People are stealing every day. In fact,
who are those people?
Listen to me. In fact, it has been the whole arrangement has been so solidified. It has been legalized, and nobody is seeing it as a criminal activity. Now it is staring the government in the face, because government is losing revenue and can no longer, have money fund
For projects.
Even Pengasan members now, they are feeling threatened. That is why they are now coming up. They are now protesting. It has been on. It has been on for a very long time.
Yes.
So honestly, this is the time. If all of us, let me say, if all the stakeholders are on the same page, definitely they will get to the bottom of this despicable act, and Nigeria, for once,
Could be good for it.
Could be good for it.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank everybody that has contributed to the success of today's program. We have treated three big topics. Buhari won't withdraw Red's nomination, quoting the federal government. Bandit negotiator Mamu nabbed over 2 billion naira ransom racketeering. And oil-theft Pengasan protest in Abuja. I have enjoyed the company of Dele Ajayi, Muideen Adeleke, and Adeboye Popola, who are my regular guests on the program. And I want to thank them on behalf of the producer of the program, Oladayo Oladepeku, and the executive producer, Akeola Wolabi. Babatunde Bolatito is my name, saying see you next week by the special grace of God.
Mondays through Fridays, 3:30 to 4:30 p.m. in the newsroom. You can't afford to miss it.